this is Jamie Magridge. Welcome to Jamie's Craft Table. Today I'm going to show you how to make this card. I am going to use a different sentiment. And let's get started. And I apologize if I've already showed this card. I couldn't remember and I couldn't find it in my feed, so I didn't think I did. I think I created it, but I didn't film it yet. So let's get started. I'm going to be using Misty Moonlight ink. Today I'm going to be using Encircled in Friendship. You're in my thoughts. I'm going to use that sentiment. And then I'm going to use this just a note to let you know someone thought of you today for the inside. I'm using Mountain Air, these two trees, and the coordinating dies to go with it. I'm using the Evening Evergreen. Or Evening Evergreen, Evergreen Forest 3D embossing folder. Okay, for cardstock, I have 4 pieces that are 7/8 of an inch by 5 1/4 inches. We're going to run those through the embossing folder. I have a 1/2 inch by 4 inch strip of white for a sentiment, 5/8 inch by 4 1/4 inch of Misty Moonlight to go behind that sentiment. I have a scrap paper, a scrap of white to stamp my trees on, 4 1/8 by 5 3/8 inch piece of Misty Moonlight, and my card base, which is 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, scored and folded at 4 1/4. And then, as you can see, I have a little bow made from baker's linen thread. I'll move that aside so I don't lose it. And the first thing I'm going to do is stamp my trees. Just move this, I don't need this, so you can actually see what I'm doing. Okay, I need one of the double trees. Make sure it's clean. One of the single trees. Tap. You just want to tap on these foaming pads. You don't want to push down hard. Okay. I'm going to do another set of those just because they came out kind of wonky for some reason. I think they'll be fine, but let's go ahead and do a second set. Much better. Alright. Then let's go ahead and bring in the sentiment strip and we'll stamp that, and then we can put this ink pad away. You want it towards the right side. Okay, let's try that again. That's a little better. I still got that S a little wonky, but that's alright, that'll work. One of those sides will work. Alright. Now I'm going to bring in the embossing folder. Open it up. And I'm going to bring in those 4 7/8 inch by 5 1/4 inch pieces of white. I'm going to line them up in here. I like to put them as close as I can together, but they don't have to be. You could do it all at one piece and then cut it apart. I just found it easier to cut it apart first. And let's bring it over so I can show you. Forgot what this piece was prior to cutting it in half, or into quarters. 3 1/2 inches. Okay, So I'm going to run this through my die cutting machine, and I'm going to take these dies here, and I'm going to go ahead and die cut these trees out. And then I will be right back. Okay, these pieces, try to keep them in order if I can. This way. So, doesn't really matter, but. And I just realized I forgot to bring over a punch that I'm going to need. So let me go grab that. Use the tailored tag punch. And on these I'm going to punch the fishtail in the end. So I'm going to bring them in. I think I can do, we'll just do two at once. Fish it in. I'll leave about a 1/4 of an inch. I think that's what I allotted. Less than that. Okay. Fish them in. Make sure they're in all the way. And punch. I'll do the same for the other two. Okay. Now, I'm going to bring in our Misty Moonlight piece, which is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And we're going to bring in some Stampin' Dimensionals. We're going to line up these trees. I think that's going to be the back side, like that side, so we'll do it that way. Okay, line up the back sides. And we're going to take our dimensionals. We're going to put a few dimensionals on the back. Probably 4 on each one. Okay, now we're going to bring this piece in. We're going to turn these over. I'm going to do them in reverse basically, because when you turn them over they're going to be the other side, like that. So we'll start on this side and we're going to leave just a little bit of a border. Same amount on the top and the bottom. Or on this end and the okay, there's the one. Whoops, I didn't take the back off of that. Okay. And go on to the next one. Just leaving a little bit of a space between them. Make sure I'm not leaving too much space or not enough. I probably could have left a little bit more. That's alright, I'll just trim this a little tiny bit maybe. I'll just spread them out a little more. So I don't think I can get this back up. Well, maybe I can. So I recommend go ahead and lay them out so you figure out what your placement's going to be, and then stick them down. Well, let's go ahead and put this other one on. Okay, got those all on. Now we're going to take our sentiment strip that we stamped. Where did it go? And our 5/8 inch by 4 1/4 inch piece of Misty Moonlight. We're going to adhere those together. Whoa, what happened here? It's not even straight. There we go. Okay, and my glue has disappeared. Get another one out. Go ahead and glue this on. Which way do I want? I think I want that. Yeah, it doesn't make any difference. Both of them are wonky. And go ahead and adhere this onto the Misty Moonlight. And we're going to adhere this across the front of our card. And it's going to be a little bit longer than this Misty Moonlight layer because it's the width of the card. Okay, now we're going to take our trees, turn them over on the top sides. We're going to add some dimensionals. We're not going to put them too close to the bottom because we are going to set it on top of here. I think this one needs a little one. Bring in the minis for the tops of the trees. Backs off. I'm going to put this one here. I'll come in with this one, put it a little bit lower. Overlap this one a little bit. And then I'm going to come in with my little bow. I need a glue dot for that. And I'm going to take that little glue dot and I'm going to roll it up. Make a little tiny ball with it. I'm going to stick it on the trunk of this tree here. Come on, stick to the paper. Thank you. Not to me. I'm going to stick my bow on top of that. Now, on this card I used holiday rhinestones. So let's go ahead and add those. These are the navy ones, I think. I'm just going to add 2 here. However, if you wanted to make this, let's mount it to the card base first. If you wanted to mount it, make it into a holiday card, let show you how to do that. This is going to have a little bit of a border around it. And there we go. Now, if you want to change it up just a little bit, I've got these little puffy stars from my stash. You could add a few of those. And there you go. Add a holiday sentiment instead of You're in My Thoughts one. And then for the inside, I'm going to take these trees that I've inked previously, but I haven't re-inked them. I'm going to breathe on them. And which side? I think I'll do it on this side. Stamp that there. Bring the other one in. Stamp that over here. And I'm going to bring in the sentiment. I don't often do the inside. I like to keep them plain. And I'm going to add that sentiment right smack between those trees. Just a note to let you know that someone thought of you today. There you go. Well, thank you so much for joining me today at Jamie's Craft Table. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I hope you can find a little bit of time to play with some stamps, ink, and paper.